Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast for what has been a long while in person. But I am Leo with Caden. Caden, how you doing today?
Doing great, Megs. Yeah, like you said, great to be back in person. We've done a lot of these Zoom pods, you and me lately, with me being sick or you being out of town.
And I was sick too.
Yeah, so
double sicknesses in the Untouchaballs, but we're back.
We're back. We're going, and we got a lot of NBA to talk about because the finals are set, Megs. Kicking off on Thursday.
That they are, Caden, and we got the matchup that you have predicted, right?
Yeah.
Which is the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tyrese Haliburton, Pascal Siakam facing off against Chet Holmgren and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Caden, what do we think about this matchup?
So, yeah, I mean, well, what series do you want to start with? Do we want to start with the Western Conference?
We always start with the West.
Okay.
Start with the West and work our way.
So, yeah, first off, I just want to say, if we go back to that last NBA pod, I did say Thunder are going to win in probably 5, maybe 6. They were the better team in this series. The Timberwolves were not. Like, the Timberwolves are a good team. They're just not up to par with what the Thunder were able to bring. I think I said it in that pod as well, either that or with stuff I was doing at school. I don't remember exactly, but I'm like, Rudy Gobert is going to be, like, non-existent in this series. When you have Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren being able to clog that paint, Gobert's not going to be able to do his usual thing where he's able to get you around 10 boards, 10 points a night. He averaged in this series about 6 points a game and only 6 boards as well. They neutralized the biggest, obviously still a great defensive threat, but you neutralize any offense or rebounding production that he can also add to the team. And that's another thing that just kind of compounded with what they were able to do to the Timberwolves.
Yeah, he got abused. He got beat up, Caden, right? And I talked about this before. I thought, if the Timberwolves were going to win, I thought they were going to win, that it would be Rudy Gobert's play that would cause them. Because like you said, that was the key matchup that, we talked about going into this series. They got whooped up in the paint, lost the board battle. And when you're not scoring anything, you're basically just another defender on the court. Just standing there, right, Caden? Not what they needed. Again, it's frustrating if you're Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves because now you got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, do we realistically have the pieces in this locker room to win a championship? And I don't think they do.
Yeah, because, Julius Randle's a free agent. What do you do with him? Like, he had his ups and downs this year, but he was also had some very solid first couple rounds of the playoffs for you. Do you want to re-sign Julius Randle, who's probably going to get paid more than he's actually worth, just with how the market's at now? And then, another thing, do you have the pieces to be at the top of the Western Conference where it's such a loaded division? You obviously have Anthony Edwards as your number one player.
Who also struggled.
He did start, the series. He had that 16-point game, and then he comes out and says, I didn't get enough shots up to be a bad game. It's also like, you're the main cog of that offense. If you don't get enough shots up, that's on you. You should be creating for yourself or finding ways to get that ball in the hoop.
You are the primary scorer. You are the leader. You are the alpha of this team. And for you to come out and just say, I didn't get any shots up, it was out of your control. That was just the language of it. It seemed like almost like not enough urgency or care because one game can make all the difference in these series, like we've seen. Okay, and you get the momentum, you lose a game you should have won, i.e. the Nuggets, 2 series ago. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and even still, you have that game 5 after you're able to, or I think it was. No, you won a game, game 4 after you win game 3. You have a really good chance to win this game.
Up.
You lose by 2, and that's the Ant game where you have 3 of your role players give you 20-plus points.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony Edwards is there as your 4th scorer. That's not, usually it's if you have a top offensive threat, he'll do his job, and if you can get a good game out of one of your role players, you have a good chance to win that game. 3 of the role players, Dante DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels, and I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker, all had 20-plus points in that game. And you still lose because Anthony Edwards was basically non-existent. And I think another thing they need to look at this offseason is Uncle Mike Conley can't be your starting point guard anymore. He's fine as a veteran depth piece. He can still give you some good minutes off a bench. You can't have Uncle Mike running your point. He's just not there anymore.
He's past prime, to say the least. I don't want to dog on Uncle Mike too much.
No, I like Uncle Mike. I love Uncle Mike. He's just.
But let's talk about what this, Oklahoma City team has done, right? Because we talk a lot about what these other teams don't do or what they weren't able to accomplish. But Oklahoma City, with Shai, who's been there for 8 years already, 7.
In OKC, it hasn't been that long.
Are you sure?
because he was with the Clippers. He was a part of the Paul George trade.
Yes.
This is, I think, his 5th year.
Sixth
Six.
or fifth?
I think it's his 5th full season.
Okay, 5th full season.
In OKC after that. Yeah,
I
after
have
that Paul George trade.
Yeah, and you get all these pieces back together, right? It's been question marks. You have the same coach throughout this entire tenure, and you're wondering, are you going to figure it out? Are you going to put it together? And now you have yourself at the doorstep of an NBA Finals, Caden, right? Of the championship. You are this close. You are 4 wins away from hosting the Larry O'Brien Trophy, and you got to give credit to that team and that organization for building this roster up. A lot of crazy trades, like you mentioned, throughout the years, Caden. So many picks. People are like, why the hell are we trading picks 10 years into the future?
Because Sam Presti's somehow a genius GM.
But it worked, right? And that's what makes this team, exciting, is that it is this small market. You do get to see the revitalization in basketball where we're not seeing, a Celtics-Lakers type finals or these prominent teams. And we are getting more parity within the league as itself because once again, for the 8th straight year, we're going to have a different champion.
Yeah, the parity, it's been kind of crazy after we seen Cavs, Warriors every single year. Yeah, since the 2019 Raptors, it's been a different champion year in, year out. And another thing, like with this Thunder team, not only they're the youngest team in basketball, the best defense in basketball, and one of the best offenses. Like, I was listening to Small Ball with Kenny Beecham. He's talking about, he was tying it to like the Rockets, where could the Thunder be a blueprint for some of these young teams? And what he said, I agree with, where it's like, you can't base your future off of what the Thunder are able to do. They are a complete anomaly where not only is their average age just a little over 25 years old, but they have the MVP as their number one. Their number 2 guy is an all-NBA, all-defensive player in Jalen Williams. And your number 3...
He's been phenomenal.
He's been phenomenal.
This playoffs, Caden.
And then your number 3 in Chet Holmgren is a shoo-in for the all-defense team. If he doesn't miss those 2 months with his hip, he's still one of the best defenders in the league and can give you 15-plus points a night. No team has that 1, 2, 3 ability, especially at this young of an age.
That's consistent.
And so they're just... If you're a young team, if you're a fan or anything of like some of these younger teams like a Rockets, you can't think that you can build up like, oh, we're just a year or 2 away from being like the Thunder. No, they did everything right. They built this team with trading for getting good draft picks, whether it be J-Dub, Chet, so on and so forth. Making good trades where you bring in Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. Sign him to the extension. Now he's just been a dog for you on the bench. Their front office has been just working for these last handful of years, ever since that Paul George trade. And it started to click last year, and now it's all really come to fruition. And they're a deadly, deadly team.
They are, Caden. But looking over to the East, and a team that hasn't been deadly in a long time, Caden, it's been a while. But the Indiana Pacers have punched their ticket after knocking down the New York Knicks. Woo! That series, Caden, what'd you think of it? Lights. Everybody needs them. But not just these ones. We're talking red, blue, and green light therapy with Hope Rising Health. Suffering from aching joints, muscles, or even a bad headache? Light therapy can help you. Check out Hope Rising Health on Facebook to learn how a board-certified light therapist can help you today. Whether you are an athlete or just living everyday life, you can benefit from light therapy, and Hope Rising Health is there to teach you. So come on down to Hope Rising Health, located inside Fitness Avenue at 100-108 South First Plaza, Johnstown. Doesn't matter if you received light therapy before or if this is your first time. Hope Rising Health can help. That's Hope Rising Health, located in Fitness Avenue at 100-108 South First Plaza, Johnstown, and follow the Facebook page, Hope Rising Health, LLC. Now let's get back to the episode.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers now are going for their first finals in NBA history. They had 3 ABA championships, but since the ABA-NBA merger, they've only made the finals 1 time. That was in 2000. They lost. They're still looking for their first ring. I mean, kind of same for OKC. They won with the Supersonics, so they technically have one in franchise history. But since they moved to Oklahoma City, they don't have one either. So it's 2 teams really kind of competing for their first ring. And yeah, with the Pacers, we talked about, I think before this year, like, this team just finds ways to win. They have such great depth. All these role players, like the Thunder, are just able to come in, give you good, high-quality minutes. You saw some insane games in this year. Like Game 1, Knicks should have won that game. You're up 17 with 6.5 minutes to go. You're up 8 with a minute to go and Aaron Nesmith happened and you blow that game, then the crazy Tyrese Haliburton shot. Game 2, you're in that game as well. The Knicks kind of shot themselves in the foot in a lot of different games this series. But then the Pacers had some dominating performances as well where Game 4 of this series, Tyrese Haliburton has one of the best playoff games in NBA history, 32, 15, 12. That's 15 assists, by the way, with 0 turnovers. Like, he's doing stuff not seen that have only been done.
Say it, Caden. He's doing superstar things. Say it.
That game he did.
Say it. He's doing superstar things, Caden.
In Game 4 he did. Then look at Game 5 where he had 8 points, shot 2 of 7 from the field.
True. He had a bad game.
And only 7 shot attempts. I know. I'm still not calling Tyrese Haliburton a superstar.
You're kidding me.
Tyrese Haliburton is not a superstar.
You're kidding me, dog.
You can't be a superstar, have that superstar.
So what do you want to do? Go win the NBA Finals? So win the NBA Finals, you're finally going to call him a superstar?
No. Unless he goes off, wins MVP. Just because you win a Finals. I'm not calling Jaylen Brown a superstar. He won Finals MVP last year. Jaylen Brown's not a superstar.
That's crazy.
You're calling Jaylen Brown a superstar? I think Jaylen Brown's a superstar too. Not even close. I think you're getting too loose with the word superstar.
No.
Superstar, there's only like 5-6 players in the league that actually, I think, warrant the superstar tag. You have a good amount of stars in the league, not superstars. Superstars, you have your Jokic, Luka, LeBron, Shea, Tatum. That's about it. Then close, but not there yet, Tyrese Haliburton, Anthony Edwards. I think Donovan Mitchell's right on that tier between. But they're not superstars. They are not superstars. Tyrese Haliburton has the superstar performances laid in throughout the season. Then he has these dud games where he does absolutely nothing to contribute for the team that you can't put him up on that level.
Hey, that's right. We're going to revisit this conversation.
I like Tyrese Haliburton.
When the series is over.
I've always liked Tyrese Haliburton. He's just not a superstar. And I think most people would agree with me on that. Tyrese Haliburton is not at that superstar. Crazy. He's one of the best supercomputers in the game. I'm giving him that. With his ability to look at the game. Like, passer, supercomputer, yes. It's like him, Jokic, LeBron, Luka. Those are the best. And Trae Young. Those are the best. Like, of just analyzing the game.
You're just naming all the reasons why he's a superstar. Just say
he's not a superstar, though. Because Trae Young's not a superstar.
How is Trae Young not a superstar?
Well, how is Trae? He won Finals Conference appearance only. No All-NBA. What has he done to be a superstar?
Yeah, that's right.
Trae Young's done nothing.
He's popular, bro.
Are we based it off popularity?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, when Tyrese Haliburton wins his finals, and he's got the finals win on his record, you cannot deny him. Right now, sure, I'll let you talk it. He hasn't won it. That's fine. But when he wins his finals and they take down the Oklahoma City Thunder, then you can't deny him no more, kid.
I can.
Well, let's talk about this.
Let's get to the finals here. Let's get there. So what? You think the Pacers are going to come in and take them?
I've already said that.
Explain.
All right. This is what I'm telling you, kid. Pascal Siakam.
Yes.
Tyrese Haliburton and the Indiana Pacers. What have they done this entire playoffs that we talked about last series?
Been underdogs, come in and
find
won.
ways to win. In the ugliest of games, Caden, what did we see Oklahoma City do? In the crunch moments, when they have to play crunch time games, they're not the greatest. When it comes down to that clutch factor in the last 2 minutes, when they're in tight ball games, they don't know how to win those a lot. They're mostly the better team when the Timberwolves, they just blow them out, right? It's not hard wins when you're just better than everyone.
Yeah.
We saw a little bit in that Nuggets series, just a taste of what happens when this team gets pushed. They're going to be pushed a lot more by this Indiana Pacers team who's going to have more effort, more presence on defense, and more care than I think anyone they've played in the West so far. I think this is a more complete team than the teams they've played in the West this season, just based on this playoffs in this season, not already work. And I do think this will be the best series we've seen in the NBA Finals in a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. This is the 100% the most complete team the Thunder have faced this year, where the Thunder, Pacers, and I'm probably the Celtics. Those are the three best complete teams, I'd say, from top to bottom on these rosters. Where we talk about the Thunder a lot. That starting five is awesome offensively and defensively. And then on the bench, Alex Caruso, Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, the other Jalen Williams are all coming in. giving you high quality minutes. The Pacers have that same ability where you have this really good starting five with Tyrese Haliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, and Miles Turner. And then off the bench, you can bring in like a Benedict Mathurin, who wasn't playing much in that Knicks series, had 21 points in 12 minutes in game 4. And then in game 5 had another 20-point game in only like 15 minutes, being a high contributor off the bench. You have Obi Toppin off the bench, who had some of the clutchest dunks in that series, whether it be 2 clutch, like a putback and a self, like kind of grab and get in game 1. And then even in game 6, those high flying.
Obi Toppin, I'm going to say he played well in every game I didn't bet him on. There was some game I'm going to say. So if Obi Toppin played bad during that series, I'm sorry, y'all, because I bet on him.
Then, you were seeing quality minutes out of like Thomas Bryant, especially in that closeout game when Miles Turner didn't really have it. Thomas Bryant was getting more minutes coming in, playing good minutes. Jarris Walker's hit some threes, played some good minutes here. And that they just have, like the Thunder, a lot of these role players are able to come in and give you high quality minutes. It's not going to be when we see a bench unit on. It's not going to be as drastic as a drop-off as you see with like the Timberwolves or the Nuggets that the Thunder have already played this season. Now, yes, like you're saying, it should be I think a very competitive finals, not like what we saw with the Celtics or when the Nuggets dismantled the Heat, which just love bringing that up.
It was great.
That was an awesome. Hey, that's my favorite finals of all time.
But, of course it is. But from a
neutral fan,
a world perspective, not very competitive.
No. And there's a very good chance this isn't a competitive series. There's a very good chance the Thunder come in, win this, maybe gentlemen sweep, win this in 5. The betting market, the Thunder are a minus 750 favorite. The Pacers are plus 500. And I think that's probably accurate, where the Thunder have been the best team in basketball this year. And I think it's continued throughout these playoffs when you have Shea, J-Dub, Chet, Lou Dort, Hartenstein in that starting 5. Mark Dayton Hall as your coach. I'm riding with the Thunder because they're the best team in basketball.
That's fair.
But I'm with you. I think this is not going to be it's possible that the Thunder could find a way to roll. I don't see it happening just because of how gritty these Pacers seem to be. We've seen 2 20-point comebacks in the Garden, or that was the Knicks in the Garden, or against the Cavs that had these big comebacks. Had that 17-point comeback in game 1. They're making crazy comebacks.
But then that's not going to be sustainable.
It's not sustainable.
You cannot do that against the Thunder team.
No.
You could not get down 20 points and think you're going to do that every night. And then expect
Aaron Nesmith to have a 6-3 fourth quarter again.
Yeah, that's not. I would tread lightly thinking of that idea.
But so my final prediction here, I'm going Thunder in 6 over the Pacers. Shea's getting the Finals MVP, but it's going to be a very hard-fought battle by the Pacers. They're just not going to have enough to get it done.
I'm going to go Pacers in 7, Caden. And although Pascal Siakam got the conference MVP, I think Tyrese Haliburton will win this MVP if they do win the finals, Caden.
Pascal deserved it.
He did.
30-point game. Pascal was awesome in that series.
That's why I'm so excited for this series, because I think these teams are matched up well.
Well, this matchup, one thing I forgot to mention is, because this is, like, the Thunder, obviously, they're trying to play very aggressive defense, force a bunch of turnovers. And then the Pacers on offense, they're the fastest team in the league. They want to push the pace.
The number one offense versus number one defense.
Well, they're the fastest. They want to push the pace, whether it be off a miss or even a made bucket. They're trying to run in transition nonstop that entire game. I think that's going to be a fun matchup. When are they going to pick up Tyrese Haliburton? Are they? Because we saw later in that series, the Knicks started after he dropped that 32, 15, 12. They're like, okay, maybe we should start picking up a little more at half court. So he doesn't have so much time to run the offense. So I think that's going to be a very interesting match. How are we going to see Mark Dayton Hall and that coaching staff? Like,
what are the rotations going to
look like? Especially rotate. Like, how are we going to defend this high pace Pacers offense? I think that's going to be a fun storyline, especially to look at early in the series. Because if the Thunder aren't ready for that, that is when the Pacers could try to jump out, steal a game in Oklahoma City, these first 2.
Yeah, Caden, I believe, can we get the season record of these two? I think they might have played twice. Does that sound right?
They would have, yes. Pacers.
I want to say they split, if memory serves me well.
Or 5 season. The Thunder were victorious on both occasions. They won 120-114 on December 26th and 132-111 on March 29th.
There we go. There we go. Thunder coming in with 2 wins, Caden. They got to feel good about that. They have this momentum. But we know things all change in the playoffs. You know, game planning in regular season is completely different than they've had, you know, a good week now. Study, learn their opponents. I'm excited. I'm super excited. Any final thoughts or comments as we break down what has been a long NBA season? I mean, when we look at our predictions from the beginning of the year,
we thought it was Nuggets Celtics. But it was a little homer pick.
We're close. It very could have been if the ball dropped a couple different ways.
I do want to say I was high on the Thunder and Shea in that preseason episode. We'll probably go back on it after the finals end with the NFL. But I do want to say I was high on the Thunder before the season started because I knew this team. They were started it last year, got their first taste really of playoff experience. Like they were only going to grow, and now they're in the finals against the Indiana Pacers, 2 small market teams.
2 small market teams.
Like, who cares if the ratings suck? This should be an awesome, awesome series.
You got to love it if you're a fan of basketball. I got the Pacers. Caden's got the Thunder. Let us know who you got in the comments. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time.